everyone, this is Jerby and welcome to Live Well with aromatherapist Jerby Ko. So for today, we have our very special guest. She is the owner of Oilistico Aromatherapy and she's based in Baguio. She's also an essential oil enthusiast. And she is Ira. Hello, Ira.
Hello everybody. Hello, Miss Jerby.
Hi! So,
Thank you for inviting me.
oo nga, I've been seeing a lot of your posts since I started talaga essential oils years back. And I was really, I really wanted to invite you in today on my podcast kasi I know that you are also into safety use and I saw na you were one of the first few people who talked about Netflix Unwell. So parang I think that was the that was the bridge that, led me to you. Kasi parang, uy! So, before anything else, Ira, I would like you sana to tell us about yourself, introduce yourself, your background about aromatherapy, or also tell us about Oilistico.
I'm a mom of a 12-year-old kid. So, I'm also a full-time housewife. And we started the Oilistico basically because we would like to help also other parents like us who has ADHD kids. So would like to turn on to a more natural use of plants, of substances. But we of course we don't like to impose na essential oils are the cure because they're not. So it's a good aid to help in the whole well-being of our kids. So a lot of people were asking about it, and then started the page. Well, paunti-unti, it's not really a market strat. It's just to make it organized for people who are asking or inquiring about those plants. So yun.
I see. How long have you been doing Oilistico and how long have you been studying? Have you started formally studying ba essential oils?
Yeah, but we're keeping it a little bit of a secret muna kasi I would like sana na parang finish na, so saka na muna pag when you want to comment but then delete kasi they will try to check your credibility wala pa, so I'm still getting there. And I'd like na pag tinanong nila, she knows a lot or she knows something. So I'd like to incorporate the name or the being a professional aromatherapist. So maybe in the future na lang. But getting there.
Don't worry, ano ka ba? Like when I see your posts, obvious naman na you're really educated about it. Diba, we are part of the same Essential Oil Philippines group kasi on Facebook, and you see a lot of posts naman from different women, different moms. And yun nga, kaya nga I saw you kasi parang sometimes when you see people, when they comment, they know talaga na parang, ay, alam niya talaga. Or parang, ay, naturuan lang yan ng upline niya. Right?
Oh, marami nga ganon. So, even though gusto kong mag-comment, but I'm trying to wait for mga titled na. So I'm trying to wait if what's their thoughts as well, because baka pareho lang kami but they're more credible to post or comment, so I'll just leave it there.
Oh, don't feel like that. I mean, I think what's good about EOP is what's good about EOP, I think it's a very open community, and it's like a melting pot of everything, like all the brands. I mean, everyone who uses different brands are there. What brands of essential oils do you use? Are you very loyal to one brand or?
No, definitely not. So actually, my first brand of essential oils came from Canada. So it's just a local small shop from Canada, and they're into organic essential oils as well. So that one kasi it was supposed to be like a pasabay. But then it became a gift because our goal there is to try those essential oils for the ADHD symptoms of our kid. So that one, we had vetiver, cedarwood, and lavender for our first 3 oils. And then my tea from doTERRA is, popping up with a lot of essential oil things. So we dive into doTERRA. And then that started it. But because it's not only because of the price that we stopped using, not really stopped, but we kind of inactive in the doTERRA field, because we see a lot of misuse and unsafe usage. So if I would continue with doTERRA and contradict with a lot of the posts that you have been seeing in your group, then you might have like negative feedback. Parang maboot out ka. So I don't like that to happen, and we usually buy doTERRA essential oils that we only need. So usually if it's on sale, or if we really need it for the family, or a friend really wants it, then we purchase it for them.
I understand also that you conduct workshops in Baguio, right? Yes. So how long have you been doing it? Tsaka, what is it about?
Actually, we started lang kasi with the workshops, because we had like a community of crafters. So it popped into my mind that I think aromatherapy is really an art as well. So we conducted the art of blending workshops. And then surprisingly, hindi ko in-expect na we've had more than 5 attendees, but we had like 9 or 10, I think. And half of the group were foreigners. So it was really like, what? Wow, amazing. And then after a few months after that workshop that we had conducted, I was really surprised, because some of them are trustees of foundations, of companies. One of them is from DTI. So it was like, I don't even know them during that workshop, but then after a few months or a year, they came back and, oh yeah, I remember you did something like that. Maybe we could do something more about it. And then we had online classes nowadays for bombs, for salve, something like that, to be able to help them. Now some of them are making their own brand as well. And I think we prioritize more on safety than how can I say, than purchasing or introducing a brand. So I always tell in the workshop, if the situation comes to, I'm Lyle, I'm doTERRA, and I'm using Oracasha. So we try to let them know that when you state pure essential oils, it's already therapeutic. So it doesn't really need to have the pure therapeutic essential oil. Because once you said that essential oils are pure, they're automatically therapeutic. So that's what we want to let people know is, we have this teach local, think global. So when you teach locally, there's a lot of people who would think about safety, about how beneficial essential oils are. But then you're thinking global because they're going to tell it, refer it, or talk about it at the same time to their friends, to their families. So it moves on. Parang chismis, ganon, but in a good way.
Tama. It's like a word of mouth. Tapos nakita ko rin, Ira, that you were featured on a TV show.
Yeah,
Ang fun!
It was very, how can I say, surprising and very sudden talaga. Kasi they called like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. School day yun. So they would like us to be there at 5 o'clock the next morning. So parang hindi ako prepared. Nothing is really prepared. But then there is that chance, So I called my sister kasi it was my first time to be on TV, to be, in a social thing like that. So I called my sister, and my husband took care of our son at that time. And then I was really nervous, like everything was sweating. So if you notice my voice on that scenario, it's really like shivering. I don't know, I really have that stage fright. So talagang mas gusto ko yung konti-konti lang.
Pero ang galing mo doon, and that's a really nice, I think it's a good opportunity also to teach people the proper use of essential oils.
Actually, that one kasi, ang tawag lang nila doon is sense. Yung mga producer at that time, ang alam na nila is, oh, sense, bango-bango, parang ganon.
Correct.
Fragrance. So they didn't know that it was about aromatherapy. So at that time, I got the chance to introduce aromatherapy in public. So it was a bit challenging kasi even the persons who called us for that show, for that time, doesn't really know that it's aromatherapy and it's not just fragrance soaps. So we would like to introduce it to the public to know that it's not just about the scents, but it's the therapeutic benefits that they can get from it.
Correct. Yun na nga, in the past, I would say 2 years, no? Essential oils has been, I guess, taking the forefront. And a lot, especially ngayong quarantine, I see a lot of newbies joining in the group. I see a lot of newbies commenting, and you'd know na marami talagang moms, women, who are starting into discovering essential oils and aromatherapy. And this is the reason why I also, I guess, wanted to have this podcast, is to not just have myself talk about oils, also include like you and other, I'm sure marami pang ibang aromatherapists here in the Philippines, either who have finished the course or who are still in the course. Either way, at least you guys, I mean, we initiated that need to further educate ourselves. And I guess this is what I would wish to impart also to everyone, especially dun sa mga newbies. Kasi nga, to be honest, diba, essential oils is very, very inviting and enticing, but then again, also very dangerous, right? Because it's very potent. And I saw your experiment also about blue tansy.
No, it's not actually my experiment. It's from a different group. It's from a different
Oh,
person.
I thought you did that.
No, actually, it was there was a quote there directly quoted from the person itself. So I asked her directly if I can share it to a group, and she said, "Yeah, it's okay. It's really good, but you just have to add my name that I quoted this one and so on." So the full post, there's a thing that she said all about it, her name, and even the pictures has her watermark on it. So I think it's the word there is challenging, because
Correct.
a lot of people would think that this worked for me, but then she said this post is contradicting it. So there are a lot of misconceptions about blending with diluting with essential oils, and using blue tansy is quite expensive to do in that kind of experiment. So even I only have 5 ml of it. So I was amazed because I cannot do that with my blue tansy.
Correct.
So maganda siya. It's actually great. So I hope people would also share it, especially the multi-level marketing groups, when they want to use their essential oils to different products like alcohol or honey or milk or vinegar. So I think those posts kasi are not really shared. Maybe it's because of the safety things that MLMM or representatives are trying to not really hinder, but not open about it. So when it comes, syempre, the more you use, the more pills you're gonna have, right? So those posts, I'd like that to be shared as much as possible. But even though sharing is not enough, because you'll have to educate them personally, because there are 2 main reasons why we would like to tackle more on safety. It's because of sensitization and systemic toxicity. So sensitization actually comes with your adverse effects on skin and your photosensitizing oils, your reactions to it, and of course you have your systemic toxicity, which is difficult to address when it becomes worse. For example, you have nephrotoxicity, which is not really good for your
Kidney.
for your kidneys, for your liver, and your respiratory toxicity. When you have that reactions, it would be really difficult to counteract it already, because in the future you might have severe reactions to the specific oils. So those posts with dilution, and it uses glutancy to show that the blending or the solubility of the oil really helps us understand how it would help our body, how it will be absorbed or not by our body. Yes, they will be absorbed. I know they will be really absorbed, but it will be too strong for our body to take in. So those are the things that I would like people to know about how they dilute their essential oil.
Oo nga, I think... No, it's okay. Okay nga eh. Actually, I think it was a very compelling experiment kasi using glutancy provides a very visual evidence that a lot of these dilutant that other people are suggesting, for example, they always suggest nga na put a drop of your lemon to your tea, it's gonna be, put a drop of peppermint, to your tea, is gonna be great, or put a drop of peppermint to your coffee para meron kang peppermint mocha. A lot of these MLM-driven people are suggesting those. I guess it's just primarily to sell, not really thinking about the consumer safety. And what you posted right there was really, it was really nice kasi it was very compelling. Nakitang-kita mo na, kasi since it's glutancy, it's blue, kita mo talaga na it's not really solubilized in a lot of those dilutants that other people are suggesting. In fact, dun sa pinakita mo, there were only 3 dilutants that, or solvents or solubilizers that was very effective, right? It was castle soap and
190 proof vodka.
Correct.
Or alcohol.
Yeah, so it's 190 proof alcohol. That's about 90% alcohol, and polysorbate 80. I was thinking sana for you to talk about polysorbate 80 if you know about that, or if you think that is a good, I guess. Do you also?
I only use the polysorbate 20.
Oh, you also formulate, right? So I was thinking na baka you can talk to us about polysorbate 80 because ako I don't personally use emulsifiers yet kasi parang I feel na ewan ko wala pa akong masyadong nakikita. Is it a green ingredient for example if you're formulating for clean beauty, is it a good ingredient for that?
For what?
For
cream?
Clean beauty, for example, like, diba, we try to stay away from ingredients that has underlying chemical, I guess, yung mga merong endocrine disruptor and yung merong mga ganung klaseng effects. So I was thinking for you to walk us through about polysorbate 80 or polysorbate 20.
Unfortunately, I don't have that wide experience of using polysorbate. I only use polysorbate mixed with water for sprays in the house like linens or for toilet sprays that, when you mix castle soap and polysorbate, so they dilute more. So when you have like, how can I say, be polite. So we call that one be polite. When you're outside, you need to go and you need to go, especially your kids, and you'll have to spray it, on top of the loo, and then nobody would notice it, but you would not be scared of those particles splashing into your, buttons, and because of the dilution. So we use polysorbate and castle soap for that, and also for the linen sprays or curtains. We use that one for curtains. We dilute water, polysorbate 20, and cedarwood and lemon eucalyptus for mosquito spray, especially these days. And we use that one for around the house. Yeah, so that's just how we use it. I'm not really a fan of polysorbate because, one, I'd like to use that one more when I go dive into the School of Formulations. But then I'm taking it really slow these days. So with the School of Formulations kasi that I'd like to study on, it's not that cheap to study in that school, and they will definitely use polysorbate 80 and 20, but I'm not really in that field where I use it a lot because I think we use more on carrier ones than polysorbate.
Actually, I've enrolled in also beauty formulation. Pero parang I haven't really come across polysorbate. So that's why I don't really use it on my personal, like how I do things now. And so I'm very, very curious about it because I know a lot of people are using it. And I think it's it's an industry practice naman talaga to use polysorbates, di ba? But ayun na nga, also see a lot of comments that if you are into like clean beauty and stuff, it's not really a nice ingredient to be in. So I was wondering, sana, if you can like walk through us with it if you're using it, sana. So yan.
Sa cosmetic fields or sa beauty or, clean living for us is being more holistic in a way that we incorporate essential oils or aromatherapy product in our lives, that it's not only with essential oils, because essential oils is a holistic practice, right?
Correct.
So it's not just the use of essential oils that you're okay with it. You have to check or assess your lifestyle, your diet, and then everything else. So clean living is definitely not just in a product that we would like to use, but it's also in the lifestyle that we are having. And I think every product naman that we are using, like shampoos or lotions, they still have a lot of those ingredients that would, if it's too much, then it would be not really good. It can have any reactions to our body. That's why those companies have studied it. They have their formulators, their laboratories, and to do things, to check on things if it's on this level. So wala pa ako sa part na using that too much things on our body. So like lotions, I don't even use a lot of lotions. Like I use it once a week. Yeah, facial creams, I don't even use those things. So just wash the face and that's it. I'm not into those fields.
No, tsaka, I think also the life in Baguio is so much simpler, di ba?
Yeah, really simple. Tsaka mataas kasi ang humidity level dito. So when you apply more, it's kind of more uncomfortable for your skin. And even we have to pick like lotion that is easy to dry up, because if it's too dry up naman, you'll have cracked skin or some diseases. So parang simple living, kung anong binigay ni nature, nandun na kami. So yeah, but most people here who are into beauty products, they definitely buy a lot and purchase a lot, especially Korean products. So I'm not in the how can I say, in that area of doing really clean living, like everything is natural and everything, because since then naman, since the ancient times, it's not all that clean living. So I believe just should be just limitation to everything.
Pero, okay lang. Kasi alam kong in Baguio, you have the best vegetables. You have the best greens there.
Oo, basta vegetables.
Diba?
Totoo.
And,
Yeah. Maraming carnivore dito, so my families are carnivores kasi.
okay lang yun. Basta, you feel well and you, as much as possible, cut down all those ingredients or chemical compounds that would do you harm, right? I just want to also know what made you, I guess, turn into essential oils? Like, what made you get so interested about it?
Oh, okay. So that is quite a long story, but to make it short, when my son was about 3 or 4 years old, he was diagnosed with ADHD and the combined type. So the symptoms are really popping out. It's all over the floor. And then he was reassessed every 6 months and then every year. So when he was about 6 or 7 years old, the doctor prescribed him restricted medications to control his symptoms. So because it's a restricted prescribed medication, we bought it for the whole month. But we only tried it in the whole 2 weeks time. So we really observed him from school, from the teachers, from social experiences at home. And then we didn't like how, zombie type he would be. He can sit down for a longer time, but then his focus, his attention is not really there. Parang zombie talaga. And we were scared because he was already underweight. So the first adverse reaction of that medication would be losing appetite. And then as a mom and also as a nurse, you try to figure out, does this have adverse reactions, side effects? So you would try to check, just like your patients, that you go in that room and you deliver a medicine, and you would tell your clients, your patients, that this has these side effects, so you might feel this way. So as a mom and as a nurse, yun yung mga nauna na parang trigger sa akin na I have to check this one. So I read a lot of posts about adverse reactions and side effects, and I personally didn't like it. So me and my husband talked about it, and we found Dr. Friedman. So I think I remember his name, Dr. Friedman. So he made a study on essential oils with direct and high dose of inhalation of those three: vetiver, cedarwood, and lavender. So it showed in that study that vetiver helped the most, and cedarwood and lavender. So that was the three oils that we had. And then, that started our essential oil journey. So, for example, that time we had our first essential oils, we couldn't even finish his homework, or we couldn't even last for 15 minutes doing his homework or his school activity. So we diffused vetiver first, one essential oil at a time, so to check on their reactions. He could study at least 2 hours with breaks in between. So that was amazing for us.
It's impressive.
And it helps as well with his sleep. So he was sleep disturbed kasi siya. So, it's like having nightmare, but not actually. That started our essential oil journey. And then I have migraines. So we checked also essential oils for migraines. So this is good. Until our collection grew. So doon siya nagsimula actually. It's because we were into more natural essential oil, therapeutic benefits of that. And we found that it has lesser reactions or side effects to none when it comes to using them than medications. I'm not against medications. It's just that as a parent, personally, it's my preference because I still can handle him. I can still manage. I can still support and care and train, and guide him because I'm still here. So I can still manage without the medication. And with just the use of essential oils, proper diet, because again, it's not, aromatherapy is not just a cure. As I always repeat to a lot of ADHD and ASD clients that keep on asking us if I use this blend, will my son stop jumping? And I'm frank at all and tell them that no, it won't stop, but at least it will lessen the symptoms that you're after. It will lessen the severity of those symptoms. So, for example, they are very anxious, frustrated, and they have this mood that can't be stopped whether you give a thing or not. So with essential oils, we have seen how beneficial it is with emotion, with their psychological processes. So we continued using essential oils, and we continue to help also other parents like us in search of a more natural thing to give to your kids or kids. So dun nagsimula. It's because of ADHD, which I think it's not common for oilers to begin with. But yeah, we started with that.
I see. No, I think a lot of women nga are using oils. Meron pa isa yung G6PD. Have you heard of that? Diba?
Yeah, so a lot of, I think there's like 30% of moms and dads who are asking us for essential oil blends for their ADHD and autistic kids, that 30% of them has G6PD. So the main ingredient that we don't like them to have is peppermint, mint, and anything menthol. So we always check them. That's why sa Oilistico actually, pag hindi nila sinagot yung questionnaire namin, yung assessment namin there, na parang template, we don't entertain anymore on sales. Because again, we're after about safety and the benefits of it rather than making it worse, right? So, pag hindi nila sinagot yung questionnaire, for example, the questionnaire has, do you have medical conditions? Are you taking medications for it? Have you seen a medical doctor? What are the purpose of your essential oil usage or your concerns? So, do you have hypertension? Are you with pregnant or lactating moms with a user in the same room or in the same household? So we ask those questions like G6PD as well, because we want them to have the essential oil blend that are safe yet effective for them. So if sinabi nilang, I'll just purchase this one without answering the questionnaire. So I don't know, it might be arrogant for them, but I personally would like to resend again the questionnaire kasi it's important for me. Not just for me, but for them as well. Kasi, you know, parang sa hospital, when we have a setup, patient comes in, you have a sheet of questionnaires and ask them about their symptoms, their temperature. It's similar to that one with essential oil. So you have to know the person before you give them or you sell them any blends. Kasi ayaw mo ng babalik sa'yo, tapos tatanungin ka, ginamit ko to and then ganito yung nangyari. Bakit ganon? So we also tell them that essential oils vary its effects from person to person. So sometimes for us, my son actually doesn't like lavender, and after a few usage of blends with lavender, hindi na siya parang effective, parang ganun. So we have to wait for a few months or weeks to use it again. Malay natin, but again, hindi siya parang nakakatulog sa kanya. So maybe because it's not really a sedative oil, but perhaps a calming oil. So for example, ADHD, I think the more sedative essential oils are good for them because it doesn't make them sleep. It just calms and relaxes them, both body and mind. So vetiver, the whole wood is a good sedative as well. So maganda yun for them, and we mix blends, you know, already. Yeah, yun.
Actually, lavender, I heard, is a double-headed sword. Kasi parang some people nga, it affects them ganun, na parang mas nagiging hyper sila. Although majority of them, it can be calming and relaxing. Ako rin, I don't like lavender talaga. But I used it. I started with essential oils with lavender because of my migraine.
Ah, wow, it helps your migraine. That's nice.
And then now, I don't really have migraines anymore. Noon, as in every month, every time of the month talaga, it's really ang debilitating yung sakit. But now,
actually, yung migraine ko started when I was young pa.
Oh, so, same.
Most of the medications doesn't work na. So we have our auction na, you know, you have to go to the minsan sa ER na just to be injected kasi the oral medications over the counter doesn't really work. So they have to CT scan, you know, because of the total migraine history of mine. I think it was really agonizing. It was really frustrating because we can't do anything in the house. You know, your job stops and everything.
Correct.
But then we noticed kasi when we blend essential blends for your clients, so hindi mo ina-expect na may i-inhale mo yung oil. Yung habang nagkakalaw-kalaw ka dyan, naaamoy mo siya. So, parang napansin ko, bumababa yung level or yung severity pag nagkaka-migraine ako. Minsan wala pa. So, I think hindi importante na hindi naman sa hindi importante, but it really helps na meron kang nai-inhale sigurong constituents. It helps maybe probably my hormones, you know, my mood. Kasi nagmi-mix ka ng regular blends mo for your clients. So, it also helps me in a way. Parang therapy na sa akin. Hobby na therapy pa, diba?
Correct. And I agree. Since using essential oils, I haven't had that much migraines comparing to before that I haven't been using essential oils. Although before naman, pag nagkaka-migraine ako, I don't really like taking kasi I don't like popping pills. So what I do lang before is I sleep it off. Kaya lang sometimes you can't sleep it off kasi busy na tayo. So, you know, essential oils really helped me with my migraine. And now I don't really have like as much migraine anymore.
Wow, that's good. Ako, since especially university days, because we have to work in the hospital, duties, and kailangan mo talagang nag-pop ng pills for
Correct.
headache kasi you need to be on the run. You need to be walking, you need to be alert. So, walang time ang migraine for your duty time. So, kailangan talaga yun.
Oo nga, ang galing.
Kaya po parang,
Ang galing. So wait, Ira, what schools have you attended to for your essential oil, I guess, education or ano?
Ngayon, I'm actually in School of Aromatic Studies.
Ay, pareho tayo. Pareho tayo. Tama ba?
Oh, wow.
Wait, kay Jade, right?
It's really taking me so slow, ha?
Kay Jade yan, di ba?
Oo.
Yeah, kasi di ba, it was New York before and then wala na, nagka-COVID, wala na yung school.
And actually, I think they just returned it to the original name. So, hindi nag-close totally yung New York. They just removed Jade's courses there, but then they went back to her original school name, so which is School of Aromatic Studies.
Correct. When ka nag-enroll?
Matagal na! Actually, talagang matagal na. Kaya lang hindi ako matapos-tapos kasi when, I'm a 24/7 mom and especially nowadays, homeschooling is really tough and you have to combine chores at home. Tapos I work at night pa. I have shifts at night. Not hospital shifts, but I have online jobs at night. So it's really difficult to juggle those studying time because you have to focus, especially yung chemistry.
Yes.
It's really giving me a hard time.
I hated that module. Yun yung nagtagal ako as in hate. But I hope you will have an easier time kasi meron akong nursing background. Ako naman, advertising. Kamusta naman, di ba?
yung anatomy naman, medyo carry lang.
Correct.
When how it's processing, yeah. But and then yung healthcare, that module was about healthcare. I think that was okay naman. But then the chemistry is really killing me. Tapos, it's not just about the chemistry. I think they have experiential works.
Yes.
And hindi ko pa tapos yun. Kasi, I don't know, I can't find catnip and eucalyptus herbs locally and online. So, na-stuck ako doon na matagal.
Oh, baka iba na yung module.
Tapos, niya, na-stuck ko.
Baka iba na yung module. Wala akong requirement na ganun.
Wala ba?
Oh, baka.
Bago, but I still have it. Yeah, probably. Matagal na siguro.
Oo nga.
Hindi ko pa na-check yung update. Yeah.
Galing. Kakatuwa naman. I haven't met anybody else who's also from the same school. Like all the...
Talaga?
Yeah, all the girls that I meet, lahat sila sa Aroma Head.
Oh.
That's why I'm so happy that you said.
Tagal akong nag-check ng school. So, hindi matagal. Matagal akong nag-aaral na doon. Matagal din talaga akong nag-check ng schools. Kasi busy mom nga, busy lifestyle. So, ang parang night time lang, nagko-comparison ka, nag-check ka, lang lahat ng details. You check the course here, and the course here, and everything, and how it would be convenient for me.
Correct.
So, yeah, because there's a great school like this school. Ang ganda niya, gusto ko talaga siya doon. But, unfortunately, yung convenience niya sa akin, yung shipping materials and everything else, hindi convenient sa akin. So,
anong school yan?
She was the one who made the blends of Eden's Garden. Kid Safe, right?
Tisserand ba?
I forgot the name.
Tisserand, no? Robert Tisserand? Babae ba yan?
Babae. So, yun nga, tingnan mo, kaya ako ulyanin. So, I made a blend last week because I really need it. Lalo na busy day, so I made like a brain, body,
Mom brain. Mom brain daw.
I really made it kasi sabi ko, kailangan ko to. Oh my God, kailangan ko talaga to kasi or else talagang mamamatay ako kakaisip ng mga nakakalimutan ko. So, I made a blend for me and my husband. It's called Brain Body. So it has sage, rosemary, peppermint, just to help me with, maybe if based on the studies we have, nothing is really proven like 100%, right? That they work for the brain,
Correct.
the memory. But there are studies kasi, there are theories as well. So, nothing naman ang mawawala. Basta, your oils are not contraindicated to you. So for me, not hypertensive naman. I don't have G6PD naman. So I think it's okay with me. So I use those oils, which would kind of enhance or help, your task, your
Correct.
memory. So yun, kailangan ko yun kasi kailangan ko mag-study kahit isa na an hour or two. Kasi ang tagal ko na talagang na-stock, Jorby, sa totoo lang.
Wow, kaya nga alam mo pa na yung pala yung original name. Kasi when I got in, it was already New York Institute of Aromatic Studies.
Matagal na talaga akong ok lang. Sobrang ok na tsaka busy, ma'am. Kaya,
Oh, I
last
see.
in the world.
Galing. Okay. So, Ira, let's talk about yung Netflix series, yung Unwell. I wanted to pick your brain on that because I saw your post about it. I want to hear your comments about it. I've talked to a lot of YL people about it. They don't like it, of course. And ako naman,
Talaga?
yeah, kasi parang in a way it shows the bad light of being a part of YL, di ba? Ako naman, when I tell them, I think there's some truth to it, so why get hurt? Kasi naman talaga yung nangyayari, di ba? I think it's a very neutral documentary. Ikaw, what do you think about that episode?
To be honest, para sa akin, balanced naman siya eh. So, it's a well-balanced documentary. Why? So, siguro sa iba, it's gonna be unfair because their products are shown in maybe a negative way. Pero, for me, it's really a balance because they tackled there, for example, the special needs mom, right?
Correct.
She was asking for a blend for her kid. So, then pinalabas na it helps with his sleep, with the mood. So it helps. They have benefits. Then they showed that the negative aspects of using it. It's because it's unsafe. So it's because maybe pinakita nila yung multi-level marketing brands like doTERRA and Young Living. It's because hindi true. Well, I'm sorry to say, pero talagang hindi train karamihan sa kanila yung deliver ng essential oils to their friends. Maybe because of the need of market, financial needs. But then they have to know does this contraindicate your health condition? So wala kasing ganon. Wala kasing assessment ng ganon. It's just that, for example, may insomnia ako. I need this oil. I need pampatulog. So, this is the oil that we have. This is good. So, walang background, walang other things that you could, tell them na dilute it properly or, you have to diffuse only for 15 minutes kasi you have a kid, you have a toddler. So, wala kasi akong masyadong nakikitang ganon. You can just, maybe just say, diffuse it before you go to bed or just diffuse it at night. So, wala yung hours kung ilan. Or kung may kids ka, walang masyadong ganun eh. So, I was just hoping na those companies, wala namang problema with the market. It's just that they need to market it safely. Because, for example, diffuse it overnight for 8 hours or more, it's not really good. You have to let your lungs rest and breathe natural air. So, diffusing intermittently is really recommended, pero wala ngang masyadong ganong, pahabol sa mga sentence or mga sinasabi ng MLS. So, just diffuse it at night, ganun lang, natapos na doon. So, you have to add something about it, right? For 30 minutes, because something like this, like that, or you have to ask questions. For example, I'm a part of some multi-level groups. And there's a question that, for example, hypertensive, right? So, for example, hypertensive compliance. So, what essential oils na pampababa ng blood pressure? So, you have to, mababasa mo sa comments like, marjoram, ilang-ilang. yun agad ang suggestions nila. But when you talk about those essential oils, they are also contraindicated. For example, sweet marjoram is not recommended for 2 years old and below. So you have to note that one when you also comment your oil. So yun sana ang maganda when we talk about the marketing strat, because for example, ilang-ilang, but then sabi mo nga it's good, but then hindi safe for kids. So you can also recommend at the bottom, like if you don't have ilang-ilang, you can take sweet marjoram because it helps and it's safe. So diffuse it for like this, for like that. So you know, yung mga assessment things like that we need to know about the client. Hindi yung basta recommend ka na lang ng oil. So I like EOP kasi yung mga pros doon, they always do that one when they comment. So gusto ko dun sa EOP kasi take into considerations nila ang background. Whether wala kang i-post na background or meron, you will read in the comments na hindi to pwede pag ganito, hindi to pwede pag ganito, or maganda pag limit lang, you know, dilute at ganito. So it's amazing how people consider those things. So doon ako natutuwa. But then, well kasi, it also gives us, how can I say, the thought of toxicity of using it too much.
Correct.
So, for example, the clinical aromatherapist in a hospital gave a personal inhaler, like a cotton lang to the post-surgery client.
Mm-mm.
So that one is amazing because she actually asks kung gusto mo yung amoy, kung ayaw mo yung amoy. Tapos if it helps, you know, may pahabol na question. Babalikan mo siya kung how does it help with you. Kasi you need to understand that it's a health concern. It's not a market concern. We use essential oils for a health benefit, not for a market benefit as well. You know, I don't know, kaya siguro ako inactive sa account ko from a multi-level market because ayoko yung mapasama sa unsafe usage. And pag kinontra mo sila is might just well have enemies. So, yeah. So yun. It's actually, Anwell shows that essential oils helps in so many ways. Whatever your health situations are, it really helps in so many ways. But it also has is safety precautions that
Correct.
we need to understand. Because we know how pure they are. That purity, that potency from the plant that we have triggers also toxicity or having it too much in our body, in our system.
Or
Too much is not good.
sensitivities.
So, yes, true. So, for example, clinical aromatherapist. So, wala pa ako dun. But I'd love to because it's part of the nursing field.
Oo
I
nga.
don't like that yeah, pero medyo malayo pa ako dun. So, gusto ko yung field na yun kasi you talk about dosage, right? So internally, as aromatherapists, this Unwell documentary shows that maybe they have been taught to drink or to drop essential oils to their water or their coffee or their tea. So I think they just have to know more about it, to learn more about it before using it. Kasi same with antibiotic medication. Too much is not good. You have kidney problems. You know that the next medication that you will use for the same chemical constituents might not work anymore. So you have to upgrade it to a more stronger one. So we don't like that to happen. So in this Unwell, it shows also how potent essential oils are, that our body is unique and we act differently. So for example, hindi ka man drinking your drop of lemon with water now, but in the future, because it's really potent, and what we're after is our future. We might not have those reactions now or 5 to 10 years, but we don't know, 20 or 15 years, it's not gonna work anymore and might just have reactions with it. So, I think it's a good practice to know more about your oils rather than just recommending or using them. Kaya wala kaming any reaction sa bahay with essential oils. Nothing pa how can I say, sa ilang years na paggamit, wala pa kaming feel na any negative reactions from using essential oils or adverse reactions. Kasi, ma-o kasi ako, so I use really books, research, read a lot before putting it in a blend. Maximum dilutions is also really important. So, it's a holistic practice. So, Arnold shows us that essential oils are not really a cure, But this annual shows us that when we market our blends, when we sell our oils, we have to think that we are helping them in a healthy way. So we are not helping them earn money and sell more. Kasi, it shows that parang kasi pyramiding scheme yung pinapakita sa Annuel. Kaya hindi siya safe. So sorry to say, kasi parang gano'n yung absorb ko.
Correct. Actually, ang ganda. I like your practice that you provide a questionnaire up front and try to probe into them. I think this is something that we picked up from enrolling in the course, 'di ba? Kasi yun yung parang tinuro din talaga na we have to probe and follow up and stuff. Not just end there by giving oils and bahala ka na sa life mo. We actually give them like a specific set of parameters that they can follow para mas measurable.
Hindi nag-start yung questionnaire when I studied in that course. Before pa.
Wow!
Before pa ako nag-enroll sa school, before pa ako nag-search ng school, I was always asking. So if they don't answer them, then, deduma. Because I don't want, I'm always telling them it's not a cure and I'm not accountable to any reactions that you will be having because everybody is unique. We react differently. So I'm letting them know that if you have any medical conditions, you will have to tell me, or if it's okay for you, I'll ask questions before I make a blend for you. So that happens before enrolling in a school. Matagal na actually.
Galing, kasi baka that's your background for being a nurse, tama ba?
Oo, kasi when you are a nurse, you have to, ask questions, check for side effects or what they're feeling. So, nag-assess ka talaga.
Which is good, I think, kasi with your background, like as a nurse, parang MD na rin yun, papunta na doon. Tapos, you are, diba? And you are incorporating this holistic practice, yung essential oils. I think it provides you a well-balanced way of handling your clients. Kasi diba, like, right now, yung COVID, I have some friends who, yung parents nila nagko-COVID. And, there are other alternative, like, medicines or alternative practices na pwede sanang gawin, pero ayaw nung doctor sa hospital. So, probably, like with your background, it's gonna help you provide a better, more holistic way of handling your clients.
Hopefully, that's what I'm always looking for. So, to have them holistically. Kasi of course, when you say holistic, ano ba yung holistic na yan? Plants lang yan, or natural na product na.
Baka albularyo.
A lot of people kasi think about that one, eh. When you say holistic, of course, you'll have to think about everything else, the whole part.
Correct.
Ito ang masakit. So, my arm is painful and it's killing me and I am looking for something that good for pain. So, you'll have to ask, bakit yun masakit? Maybe, so, sasabihin niya, so I slept in one side, like that. So, you'll have to also address that other things, not only essential oils, can help them.
Correct.
For example, maybe a person, you can turn around.
Yeah, maybe it's your posture.
Yeah. Yes. So, maybe you can put your pillows, 2 pillows up, pag medyo mahilo-hilo pa in the morning, your orthoptic. So, iba-iba actually. So, may mga tao kasi na akala nila pag sinabi mo holistic just using plants, natural products. So, in-explain ko naman sa kanila na we have to consider all things, not just a single part of your body, but generally everything. So, may headache ka, for example, may headache itong client A, But then, you have to ask. I don't have like, oh, I have this blend for headache, so I'll just sell it and deliver it, right, or ship it. So I don't really go into that na deliver that, benta that, but no. I ask him, what's the trigger of your headache? Is it your sinuses? Because if it's her sinuses, then I would have a blend that has eucalyptus, if it's okay with her, eucalyptus peppermint, because it helps with the congestion. So if her headache is because of stress, lack of sleep, then you will have to give also a blend that would be best for her, like helps her sleep or relaxes her body, your body tensions, your nads, your muscles. Then that would help her lessen the trigger and also add pain relieving oil. So may mga ganun kasing factors hindi kasi siya pare-pareho. So tapos sabihin mo lessen your triggering factors, or try to drink coffee only in the morning, not after 5 p.m. So you have to know those histories of them rather than just giving them the blend.
Correct.
Kasi iba-iba nga tayo. So yeah. So ganun ako. I don't know why.
Tama nga eh. That's a good practice, to be honest. And I hope talaga like a lot of people can be more like you, like the way you do. And what do you think are the oils that would be very helpful at this time, at this COVID time? Ano yung mga top oils that you can recommend?
For this time, this COVID time, we usually have a blend for kids. So let's go for kids muna para
Sige.
nakahulay sila. So for kids, we recommend lemon or bergamot, and these citrus oils would really help. What else? Frankincense is a good immune booster also. Sweet marjoram. So if you also have Pelargonia, which is really good because Pelargonia is one of my favorite. It helps with congestions and it also immune boosting oil. So those ones, unless there are contraindicated ones, like if you're using lemon that is cold processed, so you will have to change it into steam distilled. Then you also have to check if I'd like to tell them that if you're using blend, especially these days, and you want it to be really absorbed by your body, having citrus oils is a good addition to them because it's really good for absorbing your oils, the essential oil constituents. Then for adults, I'd like to use eucalyptus. They have eucalyptus, thyme linalool because it's milder rather than the thymol. So it's good also even if you have kids around age 2 and above. So sweet marjoram and peppermint. So I guess those ones are the top ones which everybody can have because it's readily available naman in the market rather than other oils that are, hard to find.
Wait, Ira, last na huling hirit. I'm just curious, what's your most favorite essential oil?
Vetiver, Fregonia, and sage lavandulifolia chemotype.
Wow, that's very, very unique. Saan mo nakuha yung huli na yun? Sage something chemotype. From where is that? I've never heard of that.
Sage chemotype lavandulifolia.
Yeah.
I'm not good with pronunciation kasi ang hirap nila It's a layman's term, I think it's called Spanish sage. Because it's a lot safer than Dalmatian sage. So it has also a bit higher maximum dilution, which is good for memory, which I really need. So it has its studies with Alzheimer's, getting in old age. So it has helped them, I think, being more in that space, being grounded, but still in that present time. So I think it's a really amazing oil. It's just that I have to learn more about it because it's a strong oil. It's a really potent oil. So it should be used with caution. And Fregonia kasi, it's the essential oil that well balanced. So yung ratio niya is 1:1:1, para ganon. Kasi it's good for immunity, for respiratory, for skin as well, for sleep. Parang well-balanced siya. But it's hard to find because
Correct.
there's only one company who directly sells it in Australia. And Vetiver, because that's the first oil that
Close to your heart.
yeah, it's really the one that touches us. So, yun. Yun yung tatlo.
So thank you so much for that. I guess that's all for today. If you have any other, I guess, projects that you would want to share to our listeners or anything that you'd want to mention, kung meron ka bang workshop soon?
With the workshops naman, Oilistico is always open, so you just have to message them. Kasi we recommend them to just message because it's subject to their availability, to their schedule also. So, ganon. Tapos, what else? I am really, really sorry. Forgive me kasi I'm not really creative with words. So, I tend to be really nervous in everything that has talk about on social media, really everything. Minsan, parang kinakabahan ako, hindi pa namin sasabihin ko. But, yeah, the point is said already.
I hope that I made you feel comfortable today. You did well, don't worry.
Yeah, I was hoping because I was touching, a lot of things, clips.
Oh my.
Just to release the tension. Oo, totoo. So, I didn't use any pens to help me calm down because baka makatulog ako. So I have to do some work today.
Thank you so much for joining me today. And yeah, I guess that's all for
Thank
today.
you, Journey.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye. See you sa EOP.
See you. Bye. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode here on my podcast. To receive updates or new episode alerts, don't forget to follow us here on Spotify. Or to get more updates from me, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at HappyOilerPH. And I'll see you on my next Live Well with Aromatherapist